There is no waste in their vocabulary.
It is a way of generating profit from basically waste.
Exactly. But Valerie, the problem with this, it is always easier said than done.
Hello and welcome to the Industrial Kingdom podcast, the industry and agriculture show of the MENAT region. I am Valerie Zakka, the founder of the Industrial Kingdom Consulting Services. Our team offers expert consulting to business owners and investors in the agriculture and manufacturing industries around the MENAT region. And today, I am very happy to be receiving the environmental activist and waste management expert, Mr. Ziad Abichaker,
Hello.
aka the Garbage King. And as some of you might know, my nickname is the Machine Queen. So this is gearing up to be a very interesting and exciting collaboration.
It's going to be a royal episode.
Yes, a royal episode. That's a good way of putting it. So, Ziad, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself, your path, and how you got here today?
By training, I'm an environmental engineer and an industrial engineer. I have a master's degree in a combined engineering program of industrial and environmental engineering. I have been doing this work for the last 33 years now.
Wow.
I'm a strong believer in the circular economy and the philosophy of zero waste should go to the landfill. So this is the main of my career has been researching processes to remanufacture materials that were destined to the landfill or the incinerator.
Yes, amazing.
Thank you.
In Lebanon, your work, and I'm sure also in the region, your work is very widespread and well known, as you were like a trailblazer
Yes.
in this sector. Ziad, you have repeatedly maintained that industry and agriculture are the main pillars of any economy. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yes. With the onset of the digital age, everybody was thinking that, what drives an economy is services.
Yeah.
And, sitting behind a desk and behind a screen and, doing digital work. And agriculture and manufacturing took a sidestep or was pushed back. And now, if you look around the world, most ailing economies are economies that exported their manufacturing jobs. They stopped planting, they stopped producing local food. They rely so much on services and banking. And since they got a bit richer, they always rely on importing food. They pay for their food that comes from thousands and thousands of miles away. But as soon as a crisis hit, and then food prices hike up, which is the current international crisis now that everybody is living, and especially in Lebanon, and especially in the MENA region. So any good plan for any economic revival and economic maintenance should have a very solid base in local manufacturing and local agriculture. And if you think about it a bit more deeply, agriculture gives you a raw material to process. So it's a segue to industry as well. And this is why I'm professing right now, anyone that is willing to hear that, put your money in reinvigorating agriculture and reinvigorating industry, because this is what will take you out and take you a long way economically.
Amazing insight. And would you say this would be more as a private sector or public, or like a collaboration?
Ideally, this should be a combined effort from the private sector and the public sector. The big work has to be done on the decision makers to allocate the resources so that the private sector can really have access to cheap money, have access to licensing, where the process is smooth. You don't have to wait years and years, and you have to surmount all kinds of obstacles to start a manufacturing business. So this is where the public sector needs to be streamlined, if you want. And the MENA region is very rich with from the private sector entrepreneurs and people with really good ideas, sparkling ideas, ideas that are solving problems on a daily basis. But they are being obstructed by an archaic public sector. So now is the time to look at it and to streamline. You need to streamline. Sorry, this is my industrial engineering background talking.
This
but
is why we invited you.
exactly. So I mean, really, with this digital age that we live in right now, it is not permissible that you have to wait 1 year for a permit. A permit should be done with the digital age. It should be done in a maximum amount of 21 working days.
Type. How about in countries where industry and agriculture are already developed, but they're still not very well organized in terms of maybe associations or, you know,
There are 2 points in running economies right now. The private sector, the manufacturing sector, or the agriculture sector, they need to spend some time and some resources on doing research on what they do with their byproducts. All right. Let's say you're a cheese manufacturer. Okay. What do you do with all the whey that is being produced? I've worked with a lot of people who are dumping it, but now you should be investing in research in looking at that whey product as a new raw material.
yes.
And it's an opportunity for you to manufacture yet another product.
Yes,
And-
let us talk a bit about that topic, about
Yeah.
sideways valorization. In factories or even agricultural facilities that have already a system, but they are not really thinking about what to do with their
Exactly.
side waste, or maybe they are a bit worried about the time investment or even the cost.
Okay.
How would you say people
First of all,
should go about that?
they should assign a key person to look into this. Okay, this will be their tsar, if you want. So
Their
that
what?
person, tsar, they call it the tsar.
Really?
So yeah, this is like when you pick a key person and you allocate to them the task of looking at a problem deeply and coming up with different types of solutions where the decision makers will decide, okay, we have enough resources to go along this path. So that would be our plan A. If plan A doesn't work, then we move to plan B, plan C. Okay. So let's take any random food processing facility. When you are processing food, you have byproducts of that. Let's say the peels. Let's say you're an orange juice manufacturer. Okay, you squeeze the juice out of the oranges. What do you do with the peels? The tsar that you have assigned looks at all the possible outcomes. From the peels, you can extract essential oils, lemon essential oils. From the peels, you can make desserts. From the peels, you can make feed for animals. From the peels of oranges and lemons and what have you, you can make compost. So now you have 4 alleyways where you can go down, and some of them, the smart solutions is dividing whatever sideway material you have into the 4 alleyways that you find, and you create 4 new products and you create more income. And this is exactly the essence of the philosophy of what is called circular economy. This is an economy that looks at materials as a resource. They have struck out of their vocabulary the word waste. There is no waste in their vocabulary.
It is a way of generating profit from basically waste.
Exactly. But Valerie, the problem with this, it is always easier said than done. Because you need to think about it, you need to do research. A lot of companies don't have the discipline, nor the time, nor the allocations to do research.
Probably mostly
But
the time.
yeah, mostly the time. But this is a shame. This is a shame because this is exactly what they should be spending their time on. They should be hiring people. They should be hiring experts,
They
telling
can hire
them,
us.
yeah, if you want. They should be looking into these resources as a valuable material that they need to remanufacture, that they need to invest in a manufacturing line. And most of the projects I worked on, they all started small. You
Can you give
don't
us some
have,
examples?
yeah, of course. I mean, we work with a dairy industry, and they decided that they're gonna couple their whey production instead of dumping it. They're gonna hook up with a bakery operation, and they're gonna give them the whey, so they would start baking with the whey. They start making bread instead of using water, and you have to filter the water, and you have to add chemicals to the water, and all. They scrapped all this process, so the bakery saved money, and the dairy industry had a way, instead of going and investing in an expensive wastewater treatment system, they took the whey and they signed a contract with the bakery, and they gave the whey. Both of them had to invest in a transportation means, because you have to put it in proper packaging. You have to kind of leave it overnight in a cold storage. But it was a 24-hour thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
But
so
both of them must have been quite open to
exactly,
innovation, and
this is
also
key.
especially probably the bakery, because that might end up changing the taste maybe of the.
Okay, no, what the bakery did was they announced that they have a new product, which is a high protein bread,
Nice.
because whey is very rich in protein.
Could
So
it not
now
be sold
they
more
have the regular
expensive?
bread. They have the regular bread that they make,
Uh-huh.
but they invested in a small bread making line, and they started producing only high protein bread,
Nice. Very
made
interesting.
100% with whey.
Okay.
And you take this type of thinking protocol, and you can apply it to the sky is the limit with the applications that you have in industry and in agriculture.
Yeah, I'm sure in agriculture also many opportunities.
Sure.
Okay, so tackling more the recycling aspect. Like also in the manufacturing facilities, you have so many opportunities for recycling from the packaging and stuff like that. But from your experience, what practical steps can organizations take to make this process less daunting and also more manageable and achievable? Because
Again,
when we approach this topic with some of our clients, they'll be like, okay, now we are gathering the stuff and someone is coming to pick
to
them
take
up.
it, yes.
This drives me crazy. But-
This is the low value chain.
uh-huh.
If you set it aside so someone can pick it and pay you peanuts for it and take it, this is doable, but this is not the real key for a circular economy concept or for a new manufacturing opportunity. Again, the key issue is to have an open mind about this. Okay, means you're gonna have discipline. That I'm gonna look at this problem and I'm gonna allocate enough human resources first. So you have to have that key person, that's hard, and then they start again. We don't want to repeat ourselves, but this is 99% of the time is this what happens. They relegate the overflow of materials to a mid-level manager that says, come up with a solution. We don't have time to deal with this. We are dealing mainly with our main production line. So when you find someone smart enough in management and upper management to say, no, this is a lost opportunity here. We want to look at this in a more a professional way, in a deeper way, and then they can come up with a new with a new manufacturing, with a new product, with a new, it's a new
But
business.
would the sideways valorization or side stream could come up with some extra profit, like substantial profit?
This
How
could
about
become a
this?
new business, by the way.
The recycling part is often viewed as more work for no
Exactly.
profit. And I know everyone is trying to be more sustainable, but at the end of the day, these organizations are mostly for profit. So they'll be like, why should I invest so much? Unless they have a goal of reducing their carbon footprint. Of course, in many countries that we are serving, this is a
Yeah.
like a necessity.
Yes.
But when it's not needed or required of you, how would that time investment, let's say as a beginning, it's a time investment as well as a financial investment, be justified? Let's say.
Okay. My hunch is that eventually the carbon credit thing programs are gonna stop.
Really?
Oh yes, yeah, this
I
is gonna
think it's
stop.
more than a hunch, knowing you.
Hey, hey, uh, what really endures is that you have a manufacturing process in place for those materials. Now what they're saying, okay, instead of sending them to the landfill, we will pay you so that you are offsetting carbon, and this is it's a bit complicated. It's not accessible to all companies, by the way. It's not that straightforward process.
Yes.
It is very complicated, and and so the key issue is you are looking at those materials as resources, and you want to create a new product out of them. And this new product, I've also worked with food processing companies that decided that part of their byproducts are good for manufacturing dog food and cat food. Although they are in a food production line for human consumption, but the byproducts of that process could be turned into a dog food, pet food line.
Yes, but this is profitable. I'm talking about the non like the products that can't
There is
be
nothing non. There is nothing non
إنه
unless
cardboard,
okay, cardboard.
packaging material,
I've
polystyrene.
I watch documentaries how they use cardboard in a low energy cooling system. They use byproducts of cardboard, and they run water in it. Again, there is
What you're willing to
no
invest.
low value, and there is no non-recyclable. Everything is recyclable. It's a matter of human resources, financial resources, and time resources. You can tackle any issue. I'm living proof of that. That a lot of countries struggle with recycling plastic film, which is the plastic bags. We created a company, just all they do is they recycle plastic bags, and they produce profiles, and they make furniture out of it.
Yeah,
And they
tell us a bit about that.
they make recycling bins out of it. They make, it was non-existent. In our portfolio, it was non-existent. We came to an obstacle during after a 6-year period building. We built what is called a MRF, which is a big recycling center. MRF stands for Material Recovery Facility. Okay, MRF. Okay, so we found outlets to practically all the materials that are coming in from the waste of this municipality, except for plastic bags. This was back in 2006.
Which is probably the most volume, right?
Exactly. So I told the guys, I don't want to burn them. I don't want to send them to the landfill. Just keep stocking them. So one day they called me and they sent me a photo of the stock, and it was a huge amount of plastic bags. And this is when I said, okay, fine, khalas. Let's allocate the time, let's allocate the resources, let's find a solution. And this is how we came up with EcoBoard.
Nice.
And it took us 4 years.
EcoBoard is a raging success.
Exactly. And it's a material that did not exist before. And now for us, I told you, we have a company that only does this.
And I would like to mention as well with the project you did for the grape plant
Yes.
seedlings.
That was
It's
also a funny
amazing.
story.
Yes.
Because
Because it's related to
Lebanon
our,
was going
for
through a deep
agriculture.
financial crisis, So people were stealing all types of steel products. They took up the manhole covers and they sold them. We replaced those with plastic. But also they went to the Bekaa Valley and they raided all the vineyards. And the vineyards had iron rods and they stole all of them. And we, immediately we produced another rod entirely made out of recycled plastics. And the beauty of that rod is that it will stay there forever. It
So
will
is
not.
it, would the client not be concerned that it might, I don't know, something will happen, it will break or melt or deteriorate?
You can recycle it. It's no big deal. The beauty of it is that no one wants to steal it.
Yeah,
It's not oxidizable, which is the case of steel.
yeah,
Okay, and it was half the price of steel.
exactly. So it is a saving in this way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the
We gave them a warranty, a life warranty on the stick
Wow.
for 50 years.
it's a lot.
So exactly. So any stick that anything happens to it, we take it back for free and we replace it.
Amazing. So this can be replicated not only for vineyards, for other.
All types of industries. Anywhere you have to use steel or anywhere you have to use wood, you can look into recycled plastics.
Okay. So.
Oh, by the way, we made shipping pallets with
Oh.
recycled plastic profiles. We made platforms with recycled for warehouses. We
Yeah,
made
with the
shelving.
pallets.
We made shelving for cold storage because plastic handles the change in temperature and cold temperatures way better than steel or galvanized steel.
The pallets could also be much better than the wooden pallets for the
For export, for food
certifications.
export,
Yes,
exactly.
also.
Exactly.
So yes, you are a big wealth of resourcefulness.
Thank you.
In terms of more like, let's talk about projects with public projects. What are some of the biggest challenges recycling facilities face today, and how can you help municipalities and local organizations address these obstacles? I know you work quite a bit with
Yes.
municipalities, and it doesn't have to be municipalities, it can be
We also work with the
associations or-
private sector on waste management issues. So yeah, it doesn't have to be public sector
if we're
only.
talking about more like public.
Yeah, but for municipalities, it's a bit more challenging because also you need to find the person or the president of the municipality having an open mind and looking at garbage not as a problem but as a resource and as a creator of local jobs and local opportunities and local economy.
Garbage
once
as
you-
resource and
Yeah.
creator of jobs.
Jobs, of course,
Nice.
of course. We did the study where we found that every 7 tons of municipal solid waste can create 4 jobs if you decide to tackle them and recycle them.
Nice.
So
This is
7
important.
7 tons, 4 jobs. So if you have a city where they have 700 tons, that's 400 jobs created out of thin air.
And would you be able to advise on such how this should be structured?
course.
On the
Of course, we have an integrated municipal solid waste plan. It starts at the homes. It starts also in how you transport the waste and when, and how you deal with it when it comes to the MRF, to the material recovery facility, and how you can valorize the organic part by creating a high grade fertilizer. So you have, instead of having garbage going to the landfill, you're going to have a manufacturing plant that will give you local, high quality fertilizer.
nice.
And we go back to the agriculture. And we also, I'm sure you remember, we designed a vertical,
Hydroponics.
not hydroponics, it uses soil. But
Yes.
it's a vertical system
I remember.
that you can put on roofs or you
Oh,
can
yeah,
put
yeah.
in small lands. All that came from looking at garbage and at municipal solid waste in a different perspective.
The fertilizer is very important.
Of course, of course. This whole planet works on biology.
Would you be able to advise on a facility for production of this kind of fertilizer?
Of course, this is what I do. This is how this was my specialty at the university.
which university was it?
I went to Rutgers University in New Jersey. We studied composting a lot. And for me, it was a fascinating subject. So, and they knew that I was so fascinated by it, and that I had so much knowledge in it, that they did not allow me to have my master's thesis in composting, because they said that would be too easy for you. No, you have to do something else.
No way.
Yeah,
And what
yeah.
what did you
Because, and I understand why, because I had already done all the courses about composting and all the work. There was practically nothing left for it. So, that was funny, actually. That
So
was
what
fun.
did they let you choose?
I chose renewable energy. Renewable energy for cooling applications.
Nice.
Yeah, that was also fascinating.
I'm
But
sure.
I did not know anything about it at the time. So this is why they wanted to give me the challenge. They thought that composting was too easy for you. No, let's go learn something else,
That
which
is-
I appreciate right now.
This is the first time I hear of that.
Yeah.
That someone is not allowed to choose a topic because of their intensive knowledge in it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes you get so passionate about something that you want to learn everything about it.
Well, your passion is very obvious
Thank you.
to all of us, and especially those who follow your activities. We are very glad to have you on the Industrial Kingdom
My pleasure.
Consortium. Thank you.
And looking forward to working on some really exciting new opportunities.
Yes, so about that, what specific challenges or inefficiencies, let's say, would potential people looking for for this service be facing in order to approach you or think about consulting you? Let's.
In summary of what we said is that if you are any type of manufacturing and you have a byproduct that you don't know what to do with, come talk to us. We'll figure out ways for you.
And if they're like maybe looking for new ways to create profit for
Yeah,
it.
exactly. This is what we will look into. We will look into it again with the same philosophy: is that your byproduct is a resource for you, and these are the alleyways you have to go through if you want to produce product A, product B, product C, product D. So, of course, we approach it from a circular economy perspective, that this is a raw material that will eventually be a manufactured product.
Thank you very much.
My
Ziad.
pleasure.
To our viewers, thank you. If you have questions or would like to contact us, you can connect with us through social media. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and send us an email to the email below. That will be featured. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Thanks again, Ziad.
My pleasure.